Welcome to UT Today. I'm Mariah Rock.
And I'm Alana Osborne. Coming up today, a young boy in Knoxville receives a gift that will change his life forever.
Plus, a business that turns memories into jewelry. How one local woman is helping preserve them forever.
But first, since the recent events that took place in Parkland, Florida, questions have arisen about how to identify mental health illness early in children. UT Today reporter Savannah Jacoby talked with an expert to find out more.
More and more people, younger and younger, are getting more and more complexity in their life and they can't handle it.
Gunshots, not something students are used to hearing in a normal school day. What is happening in the minds of these school shooters, and why are we looking past the signs of mental health? UT professor Bob Cronick, specialist in educational psychology counseling, wants it to be about the audience.
We would be well served to look at the people who respond to the mental illness.
It's not just the Florida shooting Cronick is worried about. It's the Las Vegas shooter, Columbine, Gabby Giffords, the Virginia Tech shooting, and so many more that cannot be forgotten.
When you have a mass shooting, like in a school, or in a movie theater, or in Las Vegas going to a concert, right away that grabs our attention.
Attention directly related back to mental health, and how can one see the signs of an illness?
I think the other thing that we have to keep in mind is that mentally ill people generally aren't violent. If anything, they tend to hurt themselves. So it's a very difficult thing to try to pin down.
Cronick saying it's up to the schools to educate students on mental health.
I think the system has really failed them.
1 in 4 young adults have a mental illness. For UT Today, this is Savannah Jacoby reporting.
The University of Tennessee is ranked the second most discriminating university against mental illness, according to a University of Texas study.
The University of Tennessee is looking to make a policy change to ban smoking on its Knoxville campus. Reporter Ansley Daniel has more.
This is reality for students like Kira Jones, who has allergy-induced asthma.
I actually have had to walk all the way around buildings if I've seen smokers on the outside.
The current policy on the University of Tennessee Knoxville campus is no smoking inside buildings or within 25 feet of the entrance to those buildings. But that could soon change.
Senior Associate Vice Chancellor Jeff Maples chairs the task force looking to change the policy.
Legislation from the state and then the policy from our systems office in the board gives us the authority to adopt the policy that we feel best represents the campus, and ultimately we'll draft the policy and send it on for the chancellor for her either to adopt or to revise based upon inputs you'll get from others as well.
The committee is made up of students, faculty, and staff. One of those students is Morgan Hartgrove, the student body president. In addition to revising the policy, her goal is to elevate the university to a top 25 research institute.
It makes us look more progressive for sure, and I hope that that progressive stance will help attract more researchers, faculty, staff, and things like that. Right now, we are only one of 2 schools in the SEC that don't have a smoke-free policy, and so we are so far behind on that.
In the end, Chancellor Davenport will have the ultimate say on the future of smoking on campus. For UT Today, Ansley Daniel.
The Smoking Task Force Committee is currently polling the student body. This new policy could include confining smokers to designated areas or banning it altogether. These restrictions will include vapes and Juuls.
The state of Tennessee has more than 500, quote, structurally deficient bridges, according to a new study. UT Today reporter Jake Albright tells us what this means when you drive across a bridge on your way home.
Most of the time we'll run for 3 or 4 weeks and then take a few days at home, and then we go right back and hit it.
From east to west, Erica Elkins drives from one end of the state to the other with minimal worries.
And I absolutely love it. I do. I love seeing the country.
But many Tennesseans are looking to take a road less traveled after a new study by the American Road and Transportation Builders Association was released last month, showing that bridges like this could be more dangerous than you think.
If I'm doing what I'm supposed to and traffic's flowing good, I just roll on across and thank the good Lord above every time that it's, I made it across and everything's good.
According to the study, there are 953 structurally deficient bridges in the state of Tennessee, 39 of which are on state interstate systems. And the study says it's going to cost the state over $8 billion to make all the necessary repairs.
Just because a bridge is structurally deficient, it does not mean that it's not safe.
But according to TDOT spokesperson Mark Nagy, Erica and all Tennessee motorists have nothing to worry about.
People hear that term and they think automatically that the bridge isn't safe. There's nothing for people to worry about.
And for Erica, reaching her destination can remain the only thing on her mind.
You never know where you're going to go next.
TDOT says that although the bridges aren't falling apart, they are fixing bridges on Jackson Avenue, Kingston Pike, and Chapman Highway.
Today, we want to highlight an after-school program working with kids living in the poverty in Lonsdale community. UT Today reporter Ashley Sharp is in studio with more. Ashley.
Thanks, guys. Thrive serves kids from elementary school age all the way through high school in Lonsdale, one of the most diverse communities in the Knoxville area. These kids gather here, a safe haven buried within a neighborhood often overlooked.
Academic and physical poverty, and we try to nurture them.
At Thrive Lonsdale, you'd be hard-pressed to find a face without a smile. For more than 20 years, this after-school program has served the Lonsdale community, focusing on neighborhoods that in the past have been marred by violence.
This is a place where they know that they're safe and they know that they're loved. Kids who are used to sometimes being ignored really crave an adult who will listen to them.
We saw a huge need for kids who are just hanging out in the park, on the street, after school, not doing anything productive.
The kids come every single day throughout the school year where they have Bible study, meals, and work on their homework. Woods says this consistency makes them thrive.
Many of them are in homes where their parents, for different reasons, aren't able to help them with homework. In some of those cases, the parents can't read. And so if they don't do their homework with us, they're not able to do it at home.
An emphasis on education and positive role models that can be life-altering for the kids of Lonsdale.
Our kids, when they grow older, when they're teenagers, they don't feel like they're victims and disempowered and unable to make any change in their life.
Now more than ever, their call runs deeper than just meeting the physical needs.
Hallowed be thy name.
Investing in lives, in futures.
And that strong bond with this community has meant that to this date, no Thrive kids have been incarcerated or become teen moms, a reality seen too often for kids without positive role models. Guys, back to you.
Thanks, Ashley. And as Thrive's numbers continue to rise, they even expanded their campus to Lonsdale and even opened a new location this year in Knoxville, Thrive Park Ridge.
Coming up after the break, warm weather means the resurgence of a popular woodland critter, and they're not too happy with the amount of trash they're finding in their homes.
Plus, a grocery store on wheels, how a Knoxville pair is reinventing grocery shopping. You're watching UT Today.
Welcome back. Litter has always been an issue when it comes to preserving nature.
UT Today reporter Allison Woodall tells us just how trash can impact our wildlife here in East Tennessee.
Appalachian Bear Rescue has been rehabilitating bears in East Tennessee for over 2 decades, so when they noticed potentially harmful trash littering the areas where bears roam, they decided to do something about it.
Collecting trash is something that is just going to make a huge impact on helping wildlife, especially bears that are actively seeking opportunistic ways of gaining calories. So they find a trash can, there's plenty of calories there. And so the more trash that we can collect and put away, we're going to stop bears from traveling across roadways and getting hit by cars.
In 2015, ABR experienced an incident with a bear named Milo who almost died after trash had become impacted within his intestinal tract.
It's a perfect example of how trash directly could kill a bear.
Tired of seeing the open barrel bins that gave bears easy access to harmful trash, TWRA, ABR, the City of Townsend, and Blount County teamed up to install bear-safe bins around some of the parks to help keep the animals safe. ABR receives around 50 volunteers every year, hoping to make the area a little cleaner and enjoyable, both for the animals and the community.
Whatever we can do to help keep the trash picked up is really going to benefit all wildlife, bears in particular.
For UT Today, this is Allison Woodall reporting.
You can do your part by stopping to pick up trash whenever you're out walking, but just make sure to dispose of it properly.
If grocery shopping is something you put off or don't have much time for, there is a solution. 2 locals started up their own grocery delivering company. I tagged along with the duo to get the inside scoop. For all those with a full schedule, grocery shopping can be a hassle. Thankfully, there's one local delivery company that will bring them right to your doorstep, all while helping a good cause. Patrick Bardsley started Gateway Grocery to help those that don't have the time to make it to the store.
We've done $900 orders for UT Medical Center and things like that.
Not only is Patrick Bardsley delivering to your doorstep, he's also delivering to those who are hungry throughout East Tennessee.
For every $100 our clients spend on their own groceries, our business provides 3 meals for families in need through that partnership.
This also gives Bardsley a chance to give back to people he can relate to.
It matters a lot to us because we've been hungry, we've been, poor, we've had no place to call home, many times in our lives, especially growing up as young men, having to experience things, to be able to be in this position to, give back and understand. It's definitely something that we feel needs to be done.
His business brings groceries, but also brings out smiles.
Maybe a month and a half he's been coming, and it really does make a difference. They help put it away, and they get really excited about seeing it come in, the stuff they want to eat. They're really excited about yogurt, aren't you? And bananas.
With more people to help and less people to go hungry, Gateway Grocery is expanding every day.
The big goal for us all is to eradicate hunger, and we all have to join in to be able to do that together.
In Knoxville, Mariah Rock. Now, Gateway does charge a yearly fee plus a delivery charge. They do recommend that by placing an order 24 hours ahead of time.
Over the past year, local ice cream shop has made quite the name for itself around the community.
And for the Cruz family, the story behind their famous sweet cream swirl is more special than you'd think. UT Today reporter Elizabeth Longmire has more.
Here you go. For the Cruz family, their story is more than just ice cream.
It's hard work to produce food, and it's not always considered a glamorous job.
For Colleen Cruz, taking over the family business has been in her blood since she was a little girl.
So if you grow up on a farm, you have no other choice but to work.
Today, giving an opportunity for young girls to do the same.
It was a great opportunity to give them a place to work, get dirty, a lot of physical, heavy work.
Something the Cruz Farm girls
Let's have a good one.
Embrace with a smile.
And then coming here, it's more like community-based and family-based, and so you're like more talking to your customers and getting to know them, which is amazing.
That Cruz Farm touch, just one of the reasons that keeps customers coming back for more than just a tasty treat.
That's how we have grown our business, stayed in business. It's not easy just running a business. So I'm really thankful for the community that's really kept us going and growing, which is really cool.
And when asked about what's next,
we're not gonna milk more cows than we milk. We like our small farm.
The homegrown roots of the Cruz family will always come first. For UT Today, I'm Elizabeth Longmire.
With growing support from the community, Cruz Farm is also looking to open up another ice cream shop in town. So make sure you keep a lookout.
If you've ever lost someone special to you, you know how hard it can be when the flowers start to wither. Fortunately, a local jewelry maker found a recipe to help you keep those roses forever. I met with local business owner Cheryl Barker to see just how she helps those memories last. This isn't your average jewelry. This isn't a bead or a stone. It's something worth a lot more than money.
I have always made jewelry ever since I can remember.
Cheryl Barker stumbled across a recipe for how to create beads out of roses, an art she says took years to perfect.
35 years later, this is what I have.
People's memories strung together.
Whether it's from their mother's funeral flowers to the birth of their first child or the first Mother's Day, it's a tangible way to hold on to that memory.
Christy Evers lost her mother and son.
Because you can't really carry flowers around, but you can wear a necklace.
She had necklaces made for both.
You know, I'll sit there and rub it. It gives you kind of a peace, and it reminds you that somebody's watching over you.
Like memories, these beads take time.
It takes me from start to finish on the beads probably about 8 weeks. First I get the flowers. I take the petals off of the actual flowers and I dry the petals. Then I grind them, then I cook them. And I cook them and I cook them.
Until the flowers turn into clay. Then she molds them, drills them, and creates this. For Barker, it's not about making jewelry. It's about making a difference in people's lives. Olana Osborne reporting.
That's awesome. So, I mean, with prom season coming up, does she also do like roses and stuff?
Yeah, it doesn't just have to be for a sad occasion. It can really be for anything that you'd like.
That's awesome. Well, after the break, a look at a special club on UT's campus. How one student is jabbing her way to victory.
Wish that I was on old Rocky Top.
Down Tennessee Hills.
Home sweet home to me.
Good old Rocky Top. Woo! Rocky Top, Tennessee. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na.
Wish that I was on old Rocky Top.
Down Tennessee Hills.
Home sweet home to me.
Good old Rocky Top. Woo! Rocky Top, Tennessee.
Welcome back. Actor and Knoxville native Silk Cozart was in town recently to accept the 2018 Diversity Award.
UT Today reporter Tala Shatara was on hand to witness his speech on what diversity means to him.
The University of Tennessee's College of Communication and Information hosted their annual diversity banquet, and this year was a special one. The banquet honored Hollywood actor and Knoxville native Silk Cozart, celebrating his success and his own personal testimony to what diversity means to him. His speech touched on a topic that he feels we aren't doing enough of in our everyday life.
I really wanted to talk about empathy. And I think this country has a lack of empathy. And I think when you have empathy, if you can put yourself in someone's place, I don't think you'll be as quick to judge, quick to hurt anyone, or any of that. I think that's really important.
The banquet also featured food, a silent auction, and a lineup of diverse entertainment throughout the evening that kept the audience wanting more. All proceeds for this banquet go to the Diversity Student Leader Society, an organization that provides and promotes diversity and helps cope with adversity.
We have these events just to promote diversity and just ideas that go along with that, like empathy, as Silk Cozart was talking about. You know, we are all going to go home with that tonight and be able to apply that to our real lives.
The night was very impactful, but when asked why Cozart agreed to do this event, he gave all credit to his hometown motto.
I bleed orange, no matter what. And you might see me in LA or New York or Chicago. I am orange all the way through, okay?
For UT Today, I'm Talia Shatara reporting.
I love it. The banquet raised over $4,000 for the Diversity Student Leader Society.
Diversity isn't the only big thing on campus this spring. UT Today anchor Hannah Milby is in our studio with Sports Update. Hannah.
Thanks. The Winter Olympics ended a few weeks ago, but there's still one sports club at the University of Tennessee practicing an Olympic sport. Sports reporter Camille Gear has more on this unique club.
On guard! You might have heard that saying when you watched The Parent Trap as a child. But freshman fencer Megan Patterson says the sport is a lot more complicated than what's shown in the movies.
They have the general gist of it. It is you go and stab people, but it's a lot more complicated. It's one of the biggest rule sports you'll ever hear of. The rules are so nitpicky, sometimes you're just like, oh, come on.
The University of Tennessee's fencing club started about 50 years ago. At UT, fencing is a club sport, but at many other universities, it's a Division I team, something Patterson hopes the team can one day accomplish.
It would be dream come true if we became a Division I sport, but honestly, if we just got to the point where all of our members were nationally rated, I'd say job well done.
The club is an official member of the United States Fencing Association and the Tennessee Division, and competes in tournaments all across the Southeast. Patterson enjoys all aspects of competing, but says she couldn't pass up the opportunity to join a team.
Before I came to UT, I had a club back home, but usually it ended up just being my mom and me going to a tournament. So it's really nice having team behind me, supporting me on strip, and having other people to support at tournaments.
For UT Today, I'm Camille Gear reporting.
And if you're interested in joining in on the action, you can visit their Rec Sports page for more information. There are many teams that fans expect to succeed at UT, but what about bass fishing? I hit the Tennessee River with one member to hear about his success on the team.
Visit Knoxville's riverfront one day after class and you might find a student practicing for a tournament. The tournament in question, bass fishing. For Tennessee's Scott Ellis, bass fishing has always been a part of his life. Now he's seeing that experience translate into success for his collegiate career.
I finished second in the Big Bass Bash last year, which was out of 519 people. I finished fourth in the FLW regional on Lake Chickamauga, right over beside Chattanooga, and that qualified me for the national championship. And as far as that, just various other finishes.
One of those various others, the Texas Lunker Challenge at one of the country's best lakes. Ellis took home the win with a 9.64-pound bass. Ellis's humility is complemented by his ability to deliver. After a few minutes on the Tennessee River, he reeled in a decent-sized smallmouth.
What was that, 10 minutes?
Ellis has not let his wins affect his responsibilities as a student either.
That's awesome. But I'm still going to get my degree and have that to fall back on if I can't be a pro one day.
For UT Today, Hannah Milby.
Ellis will compete in 4 more tournaments this spring leading up to the championship in May. Well, that's going to do it for your sports update. Back to you all at the desk.
Thanks, Hannah. We'll be right back with more.
On old Rocky Top.
Down Tennessee Hill.
Home sweet home to me.
Rocky Top, Tennessee.
Welcome back. A Knoxville family received the gift of a lifetime, and UT Today was there to see it all.
UT Today reporter Kayla Grainer takes us behind the scenes of this family's journey.
This past week, I got the amazing experience of meeting the cutest 2-year-old. I also got to see up and close the tears and smiles of a family receiving a free cochlear implant. This is what Thomas Creech hears every day of his life. Although only 2 years old, Thomas is completely deaf. Brian and Molly Creech have 7 biological children, but felt led to adopt Thomas and another boy from China almost a year ago. The adoption agency and the family had no idea that Thomas couldn't hear.
We had him for almost a month when we figured out he was deaf. He was always very good at mimicking you and copying you, so we thought he just didn't understand the English language.
They immediately started looking into cochlear implant surgery, but found that their insurance company wouldn't pay for it. After seeming to run out of options, a miracle happened. A foundation decided to completely pay for Thomas's $50,000 surgery.
We both shed tears because it was an answer to a lot of prayers, because we wanted him to be able to hear if at all possible.
Thomas had his first surgery to attach the implants in late January, and the next step is to have his hearing turned on. The family says they're excited for Thomas to finally hear their voice.
He can say mama now, and I'm looking forward to him hearing.
The family said they are so excited to start this new journey with Thomas. Make sure to tune in next week as I get to see the first moments after Thomas's surgery, as well as his first audio therapy appointment. Back to you at the desk.
Very sweet. Well, that's going to do it for UT Today. I'm Alana Osborne.
And I'm Mariah Rock. Thanks for watching.